exponentially increase the probability that they will succeed. So I'm going to actually mention a couple of players that I want to see in. Center defensive midfielder, I mentioned earlier, I think is the biggest need we have. I don't think we're going to be able to get Schneiderlin. I think that Southampton will balk at selling him unless somebody wants to just break the bank and go 40 to 45. And we're not going to be willing to do that. Arsenal might. They have a truckload of cash that they have never spent, and if they feel the need to go get him to play center defensive midfielder instead of Arteta or instead of somebody else along those lines, then they can have him. The guy that I wouldn't mind us going to get is William Carvajal from Sporting, where we just picked up Dyer from. He's 22 years old, 6'2", runs like the Flash, and he's a monster in the midfield. The only question about him, unlike Stambouli, is his footwork. So, do you pair him with the Stambouli and let the footwork kind of come? But he's a very attack-minded central defensive midfielder, very much in the Schneiderlin role. The other kid is a young Argentine striker from the little island just south of Italy, which is my birthright, in Palermo. Paulo Dybala. This kid is 20 years old. He led Palermo in scoring last year, got them out of Serie B and put them in Serie A, and has Palermo playing in mid-table form almost on his own as a 20-year-old. Young Argentine striker. I'd kind of keep an eye on this kid. Those are the two that I think that we can afford. I think that would mesh good with the team, and I think kind of fit the profile of the kind of players that we're looking for. Adebayor's, I think, gone, but I really think that Soldado is going to be here, if not for the rest of this year, into next year. Some people may not, necessarily want to hear that. I think Pochettino loves the guy, and the fans obviously love the guy. I think he likes being here. I think he wants to succeed here. And sometimes that's all you need. But he needs to find his form. And I think they're going to give him every opportunity to do that, possibly into next season. So I don't see him going anywhere. So if you bring in a young striker, you pair him with Kane, and you pair him with Soldado, and you maybe look at, if we're going to run a 4-2-3-1, like Simon says, that's all you need is 3. You don't need a 4th. And even sometimes 3 is a crowd. But this kid can go play in the under-21s. He's one of the best young and up-and-coming international strikers from Argentina. Go get him while he's still affordable at a rate that Palermo would say, yeah, we'll take 10 or 11 or 12, maybe 15 for him. And
I don't think he's going to be that cheap, though. At least not that I've read.
You know what, though? But even if he costs 20, you're not going to spend 40. And we all know that they are about a bottom line club. You're not going to spend 40 for Dybala. You're not. No one's going to have to, because you're not going to spend that much for anybody else.
You're goading me to start talking about Lacazette, aren't you? But I'm not going to. No, look, Dybala's a great player.
Blake said you'd do that.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not. I promise. But in my notes on Dybala, I'm just like, wow, 20 million. Ooh, 21-year-old at Palermo. I don't know. He's a very good player. And if anybody knows it, Pac should know it. But I think your assessment and your thinking here is right.
He's
good players
skillful,
that are young.
And I think he's going to stay youth. I think he just wants to get, here's 11 players. And what is you guys weren't with me when I started this thing 18, 19, whatever it was, episodes ago. One of the things that I kind of mentioned was, when you look at Arsenal and you look at Southampton and you look at City and you see the success they had, it's not because they have a ton of money. But when you look at even someone like Arsenal, they brought in one player last year, and it was Mesut Ozil. They brought in one player this year, and it was Sanchez. The other guys have all been playing together since they were 19, 20, 21 years old for 5 years. And now they're all in their low to mid-20s. But they've been able to develop that chemistry and understanding and the mental link-up play that allows them to be a very consistent top 4 club. That's all I'm going to say about those little cocksuckers, because I really hate them.
Move on.
But that's, I think, what we want to become. And you have the foundation of a bunch of 21, 22, 23-year-olds right now. Why not add 2 more that can really make an impact? Carvajal's a beast. He's an absolute Portuguese beast. And I think, Dybala's just my choice. There are 10 young strikers out there that anybody can go and try to get, but you have to find somebody that's going to fit your system. The system we run, I honestly think Cavani would be perfect, because he has an endless engine and can easily run, but I don't want to go spend $55 million for a 28-year-old striker. I don't.
No, I agree.
Well,
I mean,
I'll throw a spanner in the works. So, do we have the person that can put the ball away, or do we lack the person or persons to provide the balls? I think it's the latter, because we've said this before, and I've heard this on your podcast before I jumped on that. Soldado was doing okay in Spain before he came to the Spurs, and let's face it, we have not provided him with the service. Harry Kane is a different animal. He seems to make his own goals at times.
Yeah, he does.
And depends on where you play Ericsson on the service, but we've not had, we said last week, we've not had a lot coming from the wings. Chadley has been hot and cold in providing. He's made his own goals, and nor has Lamela. So I think that's the bigger issue here. Soldado and Kane, if they had the service, would be banging goals in for fun, I believe.
Agreed.
But we do need that third striker, because Adebayor, his head's not with the club right now.
Yeah, Simon, I think that comes with time. I mean, I think that Lamela is going to continue to develop. I think the jury is more out on Chadley and what kind of player is he. I mean, I drool over Memphis Depay. I mean, our issues are solved with him, but I just don't think that that's really yet. I don't think that's really been noticed or identified as the glaring need. I think the central, that central, attacking midfield, the boss in the middle, and another accompaniment, if you will, for Kane. Is the priority. I think in time, my point just being, I think that gets sorted out. I really do. I think Lamela, and he even showed it today in the few minutes. Did you see? He's a cheeky. I mean, he took on Luke Shaw like he was a nobody. So I think you're going to get more of that, and as he progresses, and Chadley is not bad. I just don't know how he really fits into it.
It's a system issue, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
What I mean by that is when you have a right-footed Chadley playing on the left wing and a left-footed Lamela playing on the right wing, and you're willing to play inverted. And that's what you're going to do, because you want to give those 3 very talented wingers, and even Townsend, Lennon, whoever else really steps in, the freedom to roam that midfield. And then if they're going to pop something through, it's really not going to be a cross. It's going to be just something that's dribbled through the legs of the center defensive, back line to try to make the goal. They're not set up to make the perfect cross for Soldado. And maybe in that respect, maybe this isn't the system or the team for him. Yeah. Unless he's willing to uninvert the wingers. You put Lamela. I think Lamela has the best touch on the ball of anybody on the team, including Ericsson. If you put him on the left wing and let him use his left foot to deliver the ball into Soldado bags 20.
Well, maybe, but at Roma, when he scored all the goals at Roma, he was playing he was playing an inverted position, and I don't know. I think in time that maybe sorts itself out a little bit more. I'm willing to give that some time just to kind of see it develop, if you will.
We'll see.
Oh, I love the window. I love this window. Only a month. And all right. Well, I will talk about this more, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah, and we are. It's just the beginning. We may have a window special on Thursday. We'll see. Maybe we'll do something special on Thursday going into the weekend. We'll talk about the window. I'm sure that the rumors are going to heat up fast and furious, and we'll kind of see what happens. We'll see if Tottenham makes a move at all.
We'll have signed everyone on day one of the window, because that's what we always do.
Yeah, of course, right.
Day
last
one.
Last minute Levy.
Last minute, yeah.
Last minute Levy. All right, shout outs, anyone?
Well, I want to kick one off because this gentleman. We've done a lot of back and forth between our 2 pages on Facebook. Keith Nicholson, I think he wanted a shout out on Twitter, but Keith, he's a lifelong Spurs fan. I think he's kind of in my age bracket. We're friends on Facebook, and he helps admin. Come on, you Spurs. To dare is to do. Actually, it's COYS. To dare is to do on Facebook. They actually do on this day in Spurs history like we do. Every now and then we pull the plum out of the pie and we pick the same event that happened. Alternatively, we pick things that are completely obscure. But Keith always likes my posts. I always like his. Ours is coming to a close in about 3 days. As I exhale with great relief. It's been phenomenal and I've enjoyed it, and you'll see that on the last post when it comes out on the 31st. But Keith is a good lad. He's a great fan of everything we do, whether it's on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram.
Yep.
I love him to death. So big shout out to Keith Nicholson in London. Round of applause for Keith.
Yes, hey, to add to that, so his Facebook page is coys.todare is to do, right?
Correct.
And then his Twitter account is at KeithBook4.
Yep, there you go, mate. Hopefully you get 5,000 new followers tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah, look him up. It's
Cheers,
worth
Keith.
it.
Thanks for your support and good luck.
There's nothing, you know what? There's nothing more rewarding on Twitter than just a good educated tweet about the club. Isn't? I mean, it's refreshing when you see it, because you see so much garbage out there about people slagging off the club, and they're never satisfied, are they? So it's nice to see refreshing and knowledgeable tweets out there, I think. Yeah.
My only addition, we already shouted them out earlier, the Trinity Hall, but the staff. What's the name of the one bartender? He's just such a gracious guy. He just like asked me for a refill. Must have been 10 times today. So just really kind people there, and I'm glad that they've welcomed us. And then I'm going to continue to beg and troll Darren Anderson and Charlie Parrish, desperate to get you guys on.
Until you end up in jail because you're a fucker.
Yeah, for sure. That's all I have.
All right, Simon. Any last words? You done?
No, can't wait for Thursday. Interesting game. 11:30 kickoff for everyone over here. We'll be at Trinity Hall.
Drinking heavily.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be lots of people drinking Bloody Marys, nursing their hangovers from the night before. But it should be a cracking game. Hopefully we can nick 3 points going into the FA Cup following Monday.
Oh, wouldn't that be a beauty?
Yeah.
Can I sign off every week by saying wankers at the end when referring to the Gooners?
Why not?
Because I liked that last week. I like the way you cut it off right at the end.
Absolutely.
I did too.
I know Sam always likes to start it, so go ahead.
All right. Kenny, get in there, son.
And as usual, I am in. And for the rest of you guys, be kind to one another. Unless those other wankers are wearing red. All right.
Wankers.